It's going live. And we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Nima.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 413. How have you been?
Good. Yeah.
It's just summer is like coming to a close. I don't know
Yes.
for you, but it was like, oh, like the kids are going and getting their schedules. And yeah, school's starting before Labor Day in Minnesota now, or at least this week or this year, which is kind of, I think, moved things up in my mental model.
It really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they changed it. I mean, maybe, hopefully we'll get out earlier. That's all I can hope.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did do, for as far as administrati, we did do, I did a drawing for the July winner, which again, it's almost time to do the August. We are on it. Don't worry. But do not have the yarn to hold up. So it will be a choice of a swag item from the shop or yarn that could be revealed to you at a later date.
I think I have some Kirby Werby that's really pretty. So
a Kirby Werby is what you said?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like something treehouse or I think, I remember it. I remember you holding it up too.
Yes,
but
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, you get a choice. If you don't want the yarn that you can't see, then you can also get swag. I'm wearing my craft. I feel like I'm flashing people, but my Craft Joy shirt. So those are available out in the swag shop now on myriad items if you're interested. Anyway, all that to say, winner chicken dinner, Jen Gall. Congratulations. Yes. Did some verifying of self-striping items this morning as well as I was doing the drawing. And yeah, we've got a lot of people with a lot of check marks. So
yeah,
including you, I need to get caught up.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have kids graduating. So we have kids visiting colleges. This is senior year. I haven't scheduled senior portraits yet. Like I am way behind on everything.
No, I don't think you're behind. I don't know when things are supposed to happen. I think the perception as the first time parent of a of a senior is that you are behind because you have no idea. It just seems like people around you are doing things. I'm going to leave it up to the senior, and my senior isn't necessarily on that, right? So we'll get there.
My senior would prefer never to have pictures taken, so that's gonna have to be on me. But
that's fair. That's fair. I was just talking about like the things in general.
Oh, yes.
my senior is like, I don't have time for that. And I'm like, well, you're gonna have to make time because whether or not we make time for it or not, it's happening.
Yeah. I was definitely going to go through one college application last night, and then I got busy and he never reminded me, and it didn't happen. So
yep.
We'll get there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, thanks to everyone that kind of waited patiently. I was out of town last week for work and the fam. So I was telling people, we went up to the North Shore of Minnesota, and I was telling people about how, like, when we're at home, Ellie's working and Dexter's running all over and Quentin's with his friends. And it was like, while we were up there, we had the whole car ride to get there together. Right. And then while we were there, like, basically we were doing all these things together, mountain biking and trail hiking and going out to eat and whatever. And they're like, oh, so a forced hang. And I was like, yes, it was a forced hang. But it was good. Ellie's got a wicked sense of humor, and there were times where Jeremy just was like looking at her and looking at me, and we were just like hysterically laughing at each other. And them's the memories, right? Those are the memories
Yeah.
that we'll take with us. So
Yeah, my kids' sense of humor kind of comes out of left field for me too sometimes, and I'm like, oh
yeah.
my God, ouch, ouch. But good one, but ouch.
Yeah. Hers wasn't like necessarily. I guess Wicked is probably me just being around people from the East Coast,
Oh, okay, I
like
see.
a good sense of humor. Like
Got it.
I really appreciate it. Probably because it's similar to mine. I don't know. I don't know if she would enjoy that description of her sense of humor, but we were laughing at each other. We played some card games that we never would have played at home together.
Mhm.
We watched the Twilight series because it was the only thing on TV
Okay.
and laughed at it. You know,
Yeah.
that was a little bit of wickedness, right? She's like, what is that old television show where the people would sit in the audience and make fun of like the old campy movies? And
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
Mystery Science 3000. She's like, we could do that.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, and we're entertaining ourselves.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of that to say, it was a good time away. I feel like maybe I brought some of the cooler weather home with us because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
downright chilly up near the Canadian border. And now we're getting some of it. But then I think some of the heat that's in the Portland area,
Yeah.
our friends in Portland on ZKN last night were mentioning 108 yesterday is headed for us. So
Mhm.
hold on to your sweaters and summer tops because who knows which one you're going to need.
This morning it was cool. It was
Yeah.
a brisk in the air, and I loved it. But yeah, I knew that oppressive heat was coming.
Coming for us. All right. So finish. Oh, did you have any other administrati that you wanted to mention?
Well, I am discussing with somebody, but
It was a one-sided discussion.
yes.
Work, in addition to being compounded into fewer days this week, some escalating responsibility at work. So I am back to like 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night, all meetings. It's less than stellar, but yeah, we'll talk about a comms strategy, and we'll hold off. So stay tuned. Probably talk about it next week.
Yeah, it's no secret. We're going to give you a save the date here soon.
Yeah.
But what all the information is in that save the date is getting discussed. So
For ZK 2024, right?
yes, hoot hoot.
It's real. It's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I even have a keynote speaker contracted, so that might be in there too.
So excited. So
Stay
excited.
tuned. Okay. So this was a finished objects. So let me see if I got, so I kind of have favorite things and a finished object thing
Ooh,
here. So
love it when they're when you
or
love
maybe
what
it's
you
even a
finish.
tips and tricks. I made a couple of these really cute hats for babies using the Tin Can Knits app. So I went out there to give it a try, and it's kind of like it's your row counter and everything for you all in the pattern. So you kind of click through your pattern. So start, and there are nice large buttons at the bottom of the app, and I did the cast on of this many stitches. Done. And then it goes to the next section and it says, do a 1x1 rib for so many, inches or whatever. And you pre-choose all your sizes. So it's for your size. Like, looking at what, everything you read is for your size. No brackets. Yeah. And then you go enter. Okay, whatever. We're getting into a rhythm. But then when you get to the parts where you have to do so many rows of something, it will cycle through those rows. And you can kind of like a row counter, you can click on the the largest button at the bottom of the app and go through your pattern. So if you are somebody who really likes a step-by-step instruction and does keep track of rows and does row counting, it's slick, it's smooth. All their free patterns are out there right now, with some plans to add some more, but big fan. It was fun. And then speaking of tin can knits, I finished out my mittens. So when I took the FO pictures, I put all 4 in there so that people knew I wasn't just bringing the old ones back up. But today I only brought the 2 that I finished. So, and I did these in the app as well.
Ah, so great. It's such a great pattern with all of the different weights and all of the different sizes, but I love the self-striping in it. It's so much fun.
Right. And when you select, right, you say like, I want this size yarn. And, you know, so you pre-select that and then you select the size and then you select, you know, and then it generates your pattern that you follow in step by step, you know, and highlighting as you go. So you can still read above and below, but when you click the button, it highlights the next section. It's really nice.
Better living through technology. Yeah. So yeah, if you're one of those people that really enjoys a pattern that has like the check boxes, but like, I don't know, I always feel really weird about A, the paper, and B, like, what if I lose the paper, right? Hopefully you wouldn't lose your phone.
Right. Well, then send the app, re-download it, log in. Hopefully it's still there.
Yeah, it's true. The cloud. It's in the cloud. Yeah. Your status is in the cloud.
Yeah. So anyway, that was kind of just a little download of all of that. So I think I'm not sure of what it is, but I'm sure there's a link on their website because it's been all over their social media, and I knit a couple things out of it and thought it was really helpful.
Excellent.
And then I did this test knit for Jessie, Nitty Joe.
So pretty. How many different colors? I know I already asked you, but I'll ask for the camera.
4, I believe. Yeah, 4. And I used some, these are from from ZK, Spartakits. So this is a Panakukin, I think. They all have names for the retreat. So
excellent. And they were intentional shorties?
Yes, they are intentional shorties. The pattern is for short.
Cool. I love those.
And then I finished another pair of socks. And again, I might be like, I don't know if I just had a finished Palooza or if these things were forgotten about in the last month. But just another pair of socks. These are from Jenna 716 Knit. I got the OMG heel on them. And I believe I entered them for my self-striping. Check. And then this one was very close to being done and it's fresh off the block. We got this cowl.
Ooh.
So this was, you know, where I had, I'm like, hey, I have that color palette. So it's, you know, it's nearly exact from what the pattern is on the cover of the pattern.
The sample.
I switched up, the sample. Yeah. I switched up these 2 colors. I didn't want the black to have a pattern because I felt like the pattern would get lost in the black. So I just switched them so that the black is at the top and the peachy got the patterning.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been doing a lot with minis, or like smaller portions of yarn. I know Lisa's got her, fall mystery KAL going on. I was seeing her designs jump up in the hot right now. That's another great one for all of the minis. I always buy them and I feel like I do a pretty good job. I never like use them all in the same project as it was intended though. I feel like I kind of cherry pick colors out here and there with smaller Unless I'm doing a mystery KAL like I did
Mhm.
when I did it with Lisa and her group. So yeah, you've got some great minis. Oh, there's some more multi-yarn.
So yeah, I just I wasn't sure how, because this isn't blocked, if I had talked about this in the past and kind of set it down, but it is finished. Short
Mhm,
sleeves, got the minis to make it a gradient,
mhm.
and
And
didn't use,
textured body, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, very, yeah.
I think you talked about it in progress, but I don't know that you had it
Oh, okay.
finished.
So yeah, it is finished now, and
So
that's,
pretty.
yeah. So that's all of them. This one's cashmere. Ooh. Actually, this one's cashmere too. Cashmere tick here. Sun Valley Fibers cashmere.
Yes, which is luxurious.
Yes, we got all over the place.
Mm.
But I finally each reached the end of my
Excellent.
whips,
All right, I have,
or
as you
my
would guess,
bows.
a
Gosh.
lot of mucil burrows. So I've got a Socks That Rock from way back when I think you and I were buying. Like you introduced me to it, and then I signed up for their Socks That Rock
Mhm.
yearly. Like every month, you got a pattern and a yarn. This one's Drop Dead Sexy. I remember. Um, and so, yeah, I did some fun like twirling there and just combined it with a really dark, like when you look at it, it almost looks black navy from
Mm.
Knit Picks. And so did that one. Also have, so this is Gnome Acres, Mr. Frankie. Again, I combined it with another, like it's a not as dark, obviously, of a navy, but again, another fun combo there. And then just finished this up while we were at the North Shore. A like
Mm.
darker gray brown with a lighter with the lighter blue. Don't think I have the yarn sitting here, but this is like a more commercial
Mhm.
woolly yarn rather than a hand dyed. But I also got back on an old kick and did some skews. So this was the sushi colorway from, I'll flip them around here, from Woolens and Nosh. I combined it with a pink, which could be, yeah, I don't know. Well, I think I mentioned in the whole sushi thing, like it could be salmon, I guess. It could be sashimi, or it could be the little like flour, edible flour that they put on the plate for you. But yeah, super fun. It's been a while, but I still have the pattern memorized. You make 70s or 50 some of something. I think I'm in the 50s. Maybe I'm in the 60s or 70s of something, and you get the pattern memorized. This one's a little more difficult than the Musil Burrow to memorize because there isn't like that whole section of do. There's something that you're always doing along the way. But yeah, some self-striping that you'll probably see appear in a Musil Burrow coming to you soon because it doesn't use very much when you're alternating. And then as part of my travels last week, I did not, so I'm doing a tessellated and it has 3 colors in it throughout. And I just was not, in addition to like all of the ball management of like, you know, untangling and whatever, I was like, I am not carrying 3 balls of yarn to make sleeves along with me everywhere I go. So I cast on and finished a salty air tee
Mm.
with yarn that I ripped out of another top that I had not used. So this is merino linen from Madeline Tosh. And again,
Mm.
I think you can see it. It's not been blocked, so it's a block away. But I think you can see the lace a lot better in real life than you can kind of with the lighting and
Mhm.
the darkness of the yarn here. But it like blew my husband's mind because he had seen the previous top that I ripped out. He saw me ripping it out. And then at the end, I added sleeves and then took whatever yarn I had left and made the ribbing at the bottom. And he was like, how is that? How are you running out of yarn? Because the previous one had like elbow length sleeves, but it had negative ease. And I think also it had a really, why I wasn't wearing it, it had a really wide neck opening. And so, you know, this is a top down yoke. I think the gauge is probably quite a bit different as well. And then, you know, what was I going to say? The in addition to the gauge being quite a bit different, like I feel like there'll be some stretch, but he's just like, how are you running out of yarn? You made a even shorter sleeve top, and but alas,
negative to positive ease will do that.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. So and you know, I think I don't know, it was probably 10 years ago I made the other top, right? I mean, I remember the photo has like ittle bitty little Dexter like standing next to me while I, you know, he popped in and like photo bombed the the FO photo. So yeah, 10 years on I've changed a little bit too. So, but yeah, super. I mean, the lace at the top was super fun and engaging, and just really kind of love the fabric that this merino linen created, as well as the patterning itself. But yeah, see lots of positive ease in there. So I should be able to stretch it and lengthen it quite a bit. But now really understand the draw of the Salty RT. I know a lot of people were making them, and it was a fun knit, and I can see myself wearing it a lot in the warmer temps. Plus sleeves, man, like finished these like in an afternoon at the at the lake. Oh no, yeah, I've been working on this stupid tessellated sleeve for multiple days, right? I swear I'm spending more time untangling the yarn than I am actually knitting, but it's fine. But yes, love the Salty RT. Think that this is great. Could see myself making another one. And the merino linen is a fun addition. But yeah, the lace will definitely pop a lot more once I get it blocked.
Yeah, I have some lavender loon that's slated for that in a really pretty plum colorway, and I'm excited for it, but I keep thinking like I gotta hold off for the next year's KAL, right?
Yeah.
Too many things that I want to knit where I'm like, oh, but I could use retreat yarn for that, so I'm going to hold off and knit with non-retreat yarn, right?
Yeah, no, I get that. I've just started telling myself I have so much retreat. It doesn't matter.
Oh, true,
because
true.
I don't want to. Yeah, I want to knit what I want to knit when I want to knit it.
That's true.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think there's other people that do that too, right? That wait until January to cast on things. But I'm
think of it as I think of it kind of as the opposite, right? Because I will not cast on with non-retreat yarn in the months that we do the KAL. So this is my opposite time, right? Where if I find something perfect and it has to be retreat yarn, fine, I will make it out of retreat yarn. But it's my excuse to prioritize those ones that I set down or didn't knit in the 6 months of the KAL, right? Because there's this jacket thing that I've been wanting to knit, and it's out of the Woolens Worsted from Susan B. Anderson's Barrett Woolcomb and words. Anyway, so I'm excited to potentially cast that on. I just gotta reconfirm that's the jacket I want to make with it.
Yeah, I am crushing on that instant crush of Hohies. So if I was not finishing this and the kind of group sweater that we're making for Rhinebeck didn't need to get on the needles, which is has intarsia in the round. So it's not going to be 3 balls of yarn attached. It's going to be 5 balls of yarn attached up at the yoke.
Well, and I was thinking mohair held double sounded difficult. So it's going to be a breeze once you get done with
It just, oh, it's so, yeah, I don't know. Yes, mohair is problematic in the process, right? Like it is the one that's like, I'm going to be all over these other
Yeah.
yarns.
Well, and it's mohair held double in color work. So it's gonna be another like ball management.
We can do hard things. We can do hard things. But yeah, no, I am definitely feeling the cold weather and loving it. But also summer tops. I'm all over the place. And hats, always hats, right? So but yeah, I got to decide, since this has linen, it could also be paperback, but
Oh,
also
yes.
could be like salty air is so beach, right? So I've got to decide which one I want to do and how I'm going to fulfill the one that I haven't done. Probably should take the beach one now because it is
Yeah.
starting to get more fallish, and then work some linen or cotton into something else, right?
I have a
So,
cotton, this is the Cancun. So
ooh, oh, the
it's
top, yeah.
yeah, it's a triple threat, I think,
Ooh.
for the book.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I'm
That's
excited.
fun, Amy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is half. You make two squares, right? Or two rectangles.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's
Fun.
also, I'm also still doing my yarn in, yarn out thing. So, I did put the retreat yarn in there, so I am still negative. So I'm knitting my way out of the hole.
We don't talk about it and we don't see all the packages that have arrived at my house. That's for another episode. But yeah.
I'm not saying I've been virtuous. Other things have gone in as well, not just retreat yarn.
The deals have gotten me recently. The deals have gotten me. So.
Oh, I know, right? So many. Yeah. Speaking of deals, the Hohi patterns are 25% off
For
right
her
now
fall
for her.
KAL.
Yeah, for her fall KAL. So if any of the patterns we mentioned from her sound intriguing, now's the time. And
Yeah.
it's all patterns, even the new collection. So
Excellent. Instant
yes.
crush. You are mine.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Uta. All right. Day has to start. Next meeting.